Good morning, America. Winter Walla. 15 million people under winter alerts in the Northeast. The travel troubles from snow and ice piling up, spinouts on the roads, and hundreds of cancellations at the airports, with 2 more storms looming in the week ahead.
Access denied. A judge temporarily blocks Elon Musk's team from the Treasury system and its sensitive information. The court fights ahead as the Trump administration tries to slash the federal workforce. Plus, the high-stakes budget battle and the confirmation votes this week for Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr.
Flu surge. The CDC reporting doctors' visits for the illness at the highest level in 15 years. Is it too late to get a flu shot?
Baked goods recall for 2 million donut and pastry products sold under various names at retailers, including Dunkin'. The potential contamination fears.
Everybody. Super Bowl Sunday is here.
Go Chiefs!
GMA with all the angles. Fans descending on the Big Easy. 80,000 packing the stadium. The tight security measures in place as players gear up to take the field.
You want to go out there and be mentioned with the greats.
Records don't matter if you don't win a Super Bowl.
The Chiefs trying to make history. The Eagles trying for redemption. Plus, the superstars at the Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar headlining at halftime.
If you love like that.
Could Taylor Swift make it on stage? Plus, the surprise for some senior super fans. And all the hype surrounding the big game as we say,
today is a big day, but good morning, America. What's up? Go Birds.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle.
Why'd you stop dancing? you all were dancing, and then we come on camera.
It's good
I'm the
to
only
see you
one.
in person,
We
by
are
the way.
so glad you're here in person. It's
Welcome
good.
back, my friend. Good morning, America. We have a lot to get to today. Of course, we're counting down to the big game, the Super Bowl, Chiefs versus the Eagles, and that halftime show. Will Reeve and Morgan Norwood are both in New Orleans this morning with everything you need to know ahead of tonight's Super Bowl.
Oh, and they are having a good time there. We're excited to see you guys and excited to check in with you in just a bit. Also ahead, what to know about the flu ahead of your Super Bowl gatherings. Doctors' visits for flu skyrocketing to their highest level in at least 15 years. Plus, we've also got new information on that plane crash in Alaska and the search for the cause.
So much to talk about there, but we do begin here with that fast-moving winter storm that has millions of Americans on alert this morning for snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Samara Theodore has made her way to Danbury, Connecticut with the latest now. Good morning, Samara.
Good morning, Gio. Here in Danbury, we've picked up at least 3 to 4 inches of snow. You can see the crews are hard at work this morning, making sure these roads are clear for a lot of the drivers. That wasn't the case, though, last night. For drivers who hit the road during the thick of this storm, we saw road conditions deteriorate very quickly. Overnight, a dangerous winter storm sweeping through the Northeast, bringing heavy snow, sleet, and ice. Millions now waking up to treacherous travel conditions on Super Bowl Sunday. 15 million Americans under winter weather alerts across the Northeast this morning. New York City blanketed in snow, 3 inches dumped on the area in 6 hours. North of the city, the snow quickly piling up overnight on highways, traffic moving slowly along I-87 in Orange County. In Bergen County, New Jersey, 2.5 inches of snow falling on Hackensack's Main Street before turning to sleet and rain overnight. In Paramus, slow going on busy Route 17 as few drivers venture outside. Farther south in South Plainfield, freezing rain and sleet falling, drivers taking it slow. The system quickly moving across the Northeast overnight after sweeping through the Midwest. The city of Minneapolis declaring a snow emergency. Some areas hit with more than half a foot of snow. The storm wreaking havoc on Minnesota's roads. Snow creating dangerous conditions. Cars spinning out, lining the sides of I-35. While snowplows working to clear the taxiway at the nearby airport. Nationwide, more than 300 flights canceled so far. Snowfall rates have significantly decreased here where I am in Connecticut. And if you take a look at the radar, though, there is still some snow falling. Just north of Portland, Maine, they picked up about 8 inches of snow. Because of that, we have winter weather alerts still in place. This morning, places like New England remain under a winter storm warning as we're going to continue to see that snow falling. Now, in the coming hours, this will continue to taper off. By lunchtime, this storm clears the Northeast just in time for those who are traveling about their towns for the Super Bowl festivities. But what I will say is that there are 2 more storms in the queue during the week ahead. I'll have more on those storms coming up in just a few minutes.
Oh, 2 more storms back to back to back. Samara, thank you for that. Now we are turning to the big game. Practically the whole country will be glued to the Eagles and Chiefs matchup in New Orleans this evening. And Will Reeve is there down in the Big Easy for us, having a good old time. Good morning to you, Will.
Yeah, good morning, Janae. The atmosphere is electric here in New Orleans. We finally made it to Sunday. Fans have been pouring into New Orleans by the day. It's crowded, it's busy. There was a Mardi Gras style parade downtown yesterday. Right after that, the Chiefs in their police escort buses had to weave their way through. And now we are getting ready for the Super Bowl.
This morning, finally, it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Go Chiefs!
Super Bowl 59 just hours away. The Kansas City Chiefs chasing an unprecedented three-peat.
We got 2 Goliaths going at it at the Super Bowl, man.
But to make history, they'll have to get past the Philadelphia Eagles.
Records don't matter if you don't win a Super Bowl.
Over 100,000 fans flocking to New Orleans for the big game. Nearly 76,000 expected at a sold-out Caesars Superdome, including President Trump, a first for a sitting president. The Big Easy buzzing with excitement. This Mardi Gras-style parade in the French Quarter kicking off the weekend. Nearly 120 million Americans also expected to watch on TV.
Look, from the very beginning, football's been a conspiracy to make us hungry.
That's a lot of eyes on the big ads. Some companies forking over $8 million for one 30-second spot. In New Orleans, Philly and KC fans are ready to go.
We got the X Factor. We got Patrick Mahomes.
Birds fans in the sky, breaking out the Eagles fight song on a plane.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Super Bowl week is always full of superstars off the field. Taylor Swift flying in on Friday night to support boyfriend Travis Kelce. Bradley Cooper bringing in his cheesesteak truck. And the casts of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Abbott Elementary reuniting to support the Birds.
Butker up, got it!
Tonight's game, a rematch of Super Bowl 57. The Chiefs winning that in a thriller. Philly now set on redemption.
We've been able to play disciplined ball. We've been able to play ball and be on the same page and find ways to win, and we're just looking forward to doing that one more time.
While the Chiefs are hoping to repeat history and make it too.
You want to go out there and be mentioned with the greats. And I think more than, like I said earlier in the week, and more than anything, I want this team to be remembered for being one of the greatest teams.
So as for the game itself, the Chiefs are at basically full strength health-wise. All those star players will be in the game. And the Eagles are getting back a massive presence on their team. Brandon Graham, he's 36 years old. He tore his triceps in the middle of the season. He is now active to play tonight. He's one of only 4 remaining Eagles from their last Super Bowl win in Super Bowl 52.
And Will, you had a chance to fly over the stadium with Customs and Border Protection, and that area will be swarming with security. How is the city preparing?
That's right. I went up with the Air and Marine Operations Division of CBP. We got a bird's eye view of the Superdome here behind me. They were showing off their air support capabilities. For all those fans that are here, this is such a secure event. There's security everywhere. And it was a bit of an odd juxtaposition yesterday during that Mardi Gras type of parade. Everyone's celebrating, throwing beads and enjoying themselves, but there's also armored cars and helicopters overhead. But it is all in the interest of securing this city, this venue, making sure the Super Bowl is safe and exciting for everyone.
Good to know, Will. Thank you.
All right. Glad to see you there, Will, covering it all. Appreciate it. Now to the court battles ahead this week as opponents try to block the Trump administration's sweeping changes to the federal payroll. ABC's Selena Wang is in Washington with more on this. Selena, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning to you, Gio. And those legal battles are escalating. A federal judge is temporarily blocking Elon Musk's team from accessing the Treasury Department's data and payment system. This is in response to 19 states that sued the Trump administration for giving Elon Musk and his allies access to sensitive personal data on millions of Americans, including social security numbers and bank information. The lawsuit accuses Musk of trying to block federal funds from reaching beneficiaries who do not align with the president's political agenda. A federal judge is also pumping the brakes on Trump and Musk's plans to dismantle USAID. This is the relief agency that's responsible providing desperately needed food and medicine to millions around the world. So you have a situation where the world's richest man, who is not an elected official, who is not even a full-time government employee, who is expanding his reach. Musk has gained access to at least 10 federal agencies as he tries to slash government spending. And President Trump says he wants Musk to go even further, saying that he'll be looking at the Pentagon and the Department of Education. But this brings up potential conflicts of interest because Musk's own companies have billions of dollars in contracts with the military. Whit.
All right, Selena Wang, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Let's bring in ABC News Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz, who will be hosting This Week later this morning. Martha, good morning to you. Always great to have you. So let's start with President Trump and Elon Musk's moves to reshape the federal government. What are the ramifications of these policies, and how are Democrats planning to push back now?
Well, what the effects of these changes are truly vast, especially when you look at USAID. There are alarm bells across the world going off saying this is life-saving aid and needed nutrition, medicine, housing in places that have relied heavily on American support. There are no doubt cuts in any department that could be made, but this one especially has many people panicked. And Democrats are doing what they can, heading to court, and they will likely have some success as the downsizing continues, but courts take time. And Democrats like Senator Chris Murphy say their party needs to be more aggressive, and we'll have Senator Murphy on this morning to ask about just that.
And Martha, we also know that there's a legal battle playing out over those Trump buyouts for federal employees. What's at stake ahead of that Monday night deadline?
Well, those 65,000 workers have already accepted the buyout, but a judge will hear arguments tomorrow on whether or not there's a legal basis for the program. That same judge already extended the deadline last week. Labor unions representing federal employees say the offers are a form of intimidation to workers in the federal government, and they say the government can't promise it will actually make those buyout payments, since the payments would come from future funds that Congress has never appropriated. But 3% of federal employees have already accepted those offers, all part of President Trump's plan to reduce government spending.
And all of this happening so quickly. We know you'll be following it all. Martha, thank you so much. And be sure to tune in to This Week later this morning. Martha speaks with Democratic Senator Chris Murphy, as she mentioned, about how his party is pushing back against the Trump administration's policies to reshape the federal government. Plus, Republican Representative Mike Turner on President Trump's proposal to take over Gaza. Janae?
All right, we're not done with politics just yet, as the Trump White House has a major budget battle ahead this week, as well as more confirmation fights. ABC's Christian Cordero joins us with the latest from Washington this morning. Good morning to you, Christian.
Good morning, Janae. The task for this Republican-controlled Congress is to get on the same page on how to support President Trump's agenda. House Speaker Mike Johnson thinks the way to go is with one bill. We expect to see a blueprint of that as soon as tomorrow, but it essentially involves building a wide range of agenda items into a budget resolution. Among them, campaign promises like no tax on tips, Social Security or overtime pay, renewing his 2017 tax cuts, and additional tax cuts for products made in the U.S. A group of House Republicans met with Trump last week, describing the meeting as very productive, though at times tense, while some hardline Republicans feel left out. The Senate, though also Republican-controlled, has indicated a different approach, one that potentially punts tax reform to later this year. And all of this is happening with just over 1 month to go to avert a government shutdown. Now, the Senate this week is also expected to hold confirmation votes for at least 2 Trump cabinet picks, Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence on Tuesday nights, and on Thursday morning, the vote for RFK Jr. to lead Health and Human Services. Both are expected to be confirmed. Whit.
Another busy week on Capitol Hill. Christian Cordero, thank you. New details this morning on that deadly plane crash in Alaska. The bodies of all 10 people on board the Bering airplane have now been recovered and identified. In a press conference, the NTSB said it's too early to determine the cause of the crash. The plane dropped off radar less than an hour into its flight. Officials say bad weather is making it difficult to reclaim the remnants of the aircraft. Janae?
All right. Well, bird flu has now been found in at least 2 zoos here in New York City. 3 ducks died from the virus at the Queen Zoo, and the virus is suspected in the death of a number of other birds at the Bronx Zoo. That's according to the Wildlife Conservation Society, the nonprofit that operates the parks. So as a precaution, vulnerable bird species have been moved to protected areas at the zoos, and this comes as an outbreak of the bird flu is spread across the country, sickening chickens and dairy cattle, and as you have likely noticed in your wallet, also driving up the price of eggs. Gio.
All right, Janae, let's turn now to the human flu, because there's a big rise in flu cases right now. The CDC is saying that doctors' visits for flu illnesses are at their highest levels in 15 years. Joining us with how to protect ourselves is emergency medicine physician Dr. Stephanie Widmer. Dr. Widmer, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about this. We've got this map here, and it's really showing that respiratory illness activity levels, much of it is the flu, is listed as very high in 12 states, high in 19 states. Why are we seeing these numbers?
So lots of different reasons why we could be seeing these very high levels of the flu. Just to name a few, vaccination rates are still incredibly low right now. Less than 45% of adults have received their flu vaccine. The strains that are going around happen to be very, very contagious and can cause severe illness, so lots of people seeking medical care. Believe it or not, the COVID-19 precautions that were in place in prior seasons, people were masking, people were practicing social distancing, and now that those precautions have been lifted, more people are being exposed to the flu. And we've just had a rough start to the season. The flu season started early and it spread very quickly, so it's been quite a winter.
Yeah, it feels like everyone I know had the flu. Okay, so we've heard the symptoms, right? Fever, chills, body aches, abdominal pain. When should you see a doctor?
So good reasons to seek medical care if you are too weak to walk, if you can't eat, if you can't drink water, or if you can't hold anything down, if you feel short of breath, any difficulty breathing, dizziness, confusion. Those are all really good reasons to seek medical attention.
We have about 30 seconds, but let's talk about prevention, because that's always the best medicine. What should we do?
Prevention is key. Getting vaccinated, washing your hands, hand hygiene is key. Avoiding crowded places, and if you can't avoid crowded places, being cautious in crowded places, and just staying clean, not touching your eyes.
Not too late for the flu shot.
Definitely not too late for the flu shot. CDC is still recommending it, and it takes some time for that immunity to build, so the sooner you can get your flu shot, the better.
All right, Dr. Stephanie Widmer, thank you so much.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure to have you here.
Now to Black History Month, as we introduce you to some remarkable change makers and history makers. This morning, a man who's dedicated to fostering a community for men. Brad Edwards is one man on a mission, identifying needs within his community and creating solutions.
Providing training in this community of men that, care about maternal health as much as the next man does, has built a level of awareness and a community.
What was lacking when it came to Black men and mental health?
The disconnect was really the stigma that came behind it. And we look at health, go work out in the gym, becoming stronger, right? So mental health is the same thing. You're going to therapy, you're tackling traumas.
During the pandemic, Brad and his platform, Dear Fathers, dedicated to telling stories of fatherhood, founded the mental health initiative Straight Mental, hosting monthly group therapy sessions and connecting Black men with mental health resources, as they're twice less likely than white men to seek mental health treatment. Then, he says, a good friend helped turn his attention from mental health to maternal health.
It was a quick yes from her. We built out, she wrote out a curriculum that was literally made for Black men with Black women partners.
His organization, Dads to Doulas, hosts a 6-week course helping empower men to support their women during childbirth.
We go over everything from preconception health to birth planning, partner advocacy, the postpartum period, safe sleep, like anything you could think of from point A to point Z is covered within that course. Some of the feedback has been like, hey man, because of the class, I was able to navigate these doctors' visits with a higher level of understanding of what questions to ask.
So Brad is really committed to identifying problems and issues within a community and trying to find solutions for it. And he said the biggest thing that he wants people to take away is to know, when it's especially for mental health and maternal health, that there are so many organizations and resources out there that you can tap into to get the help that you need.
Yeah.
So he's doing great
Generating
work.
a ton of awareness,
Yes.
too.
Yeah, such an important story, but I really do love those glasses on.
Oh, I did wear the readers. I'm getting a little old, Gio.
Welcome to the club.
Getting up there with you guys.
All right, coming up here on Good Morning America, we are headed back to New Orleans, and Morgan Norwood is there. Hey, Morgan.
Hey guys, I have it all. The party, the glitz, the glamour, and that Super Bowl halftime show. We are counting down. We'll be right back.
The glitz, the glamour, we want to be there, but that's all right. We've got a QB showdown, and our guy, Coach Herm Edwards, he joins us for a close look at the rival quarterbacks.
And our favorite super fans surprised with tickets to the big game. We'll be right back.
All's my life I has to fight. All's my life I. Hard times like yeah. Bad trips like yeah. Nazareth, I'm on one. You on one.
Welcome back to GMA on this Sunday morning. That right there is Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, right?
I'm so excited for this.
So excited to see how it goes down tonight. He'll be performing in the Super Bowl halftime show. This was back in 2022 when he performed alongside Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, and Eminem. The Grammy winner headlining the show tonight, Super Bowl 56, was the last one that the Chiefs didn't win. They didn't play. So is that good luck or bad omen? We'll see. But we've got the latest on the big show coming up. Just thought I'd throw that
Trying
out
to find
there.
some thread.
Yeah.
Some
They
crystal
didn't
ball.
win, but they didn't play.
All right, but first, let's take a look at some of the other big stories we're following here on this Sunday morning. Israeli security officials tell ABC News that the IDF is about to withdraw from the Netzarim corridor. That's a key part of the Gaza Strip. As part of the ceasefire agreement, Palestinians are finding massive destruction as they move back into the area.
And the FDA has issued a massive recall of 60 baked goods products, a total of about 2 million items due to potential listeria contamination. Wholesaler FGF Brands made and distributed the items under various names at retailers, including Dunkin'. You can find out more about the specific products at fda.gov.
And ESPN's Dick Vitale is back. The legendary college sports announcer getting emotional as the crowd at the Duke Clemson game last night gave him an extended standing ovation. Vitale was back courtside after being sidelined for nearly 2 years by his fourth bout with cancer. Dickie V announced that he was cancer-free in January, and we are all sending huge congratulations and welcome back to him.
Such a legend. Great to see him back.
Yeah.
And we do start this half hour with more Super Bowl excitement and the show, between the touchdowns and the tackles. We're talking about Kendrick Lamar, who will be having a field day of his own at halftime, of course, fresh from adding 5 more Grammys to his collection. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more on what we can expect. Hey, Morgan.
I mean, sure, I guess there's a little bit of football happening tonight. Something about a Vince Lombardi trophy, rushing yards, history being made, legacies on the line, blah, blah, blah. But let's face it, a lot of folks are just tuned into the halftime show, and for good reason. History will be made. Kendrick Lamar, SZA, and if there's one thing New Orleans knows how to do, that's how to throw a party.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's the show-stopping pinnacle of the sports and entertainment universe.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
From Beyonce's epic 2016 performance, often bursting with big stunts like Katy Perry writing a massive line. Or Lady Gaga Spider-Manning from the rafters.
Carried mine, no, we can't read my poker face.
Even collaborations like Beyonce, Bruno Mars, and Coldplay. And Aerosmith, along with NSYNC, Britney, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly. To timeless legends like Prince. And Michael Jackson. But tonight,
woke up looking for the broccoli.
Kendrick Lamar joins the ranks, making history as the first solo rap artist to headline a Super Bowl halftime show, managing to stay humble.
This is me, this is Kendrick Lamar, 37 years old, and I still feel like I'm elevating. I'm still on the journey though, you know? And I want that energy to, you know, ooze out into the televisions and to the people that's in that building.
Not like us, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar.
Taking home 5 statues, the most of the night at last week's Grammy Awards, bringing his total count to 22, thanks to his chart-topping summer hit, Not Like Us.
They not like us.
The so-called diss track to his ongoing rival Drake. No word if that song will be performed tonight, but it's certainly the one fans will be waiting for.
I think people would be colossally disappointed if Kendrick Lamar did not perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. It pretty much was a West Coast anthem this past summer. It grew even bigger. It just became a big club hit. I think he's got to perform that song.
But will he be alone for those 13 minutes on the field? So far, longtime collaborator SZA set to join him. Swifties even swirling at the remote possibility of a halftime appearance by Taylor Swift.
If you love like that,
After all, she and Lamar collaborated on 2014's Bad Blood.
You gotta live with the bad blood now.
And questions remain as to whether she'll come down from the suite above, where she'll be cheering on boyfriend Travis Kelce. Look, the Chiefs may have Taylor, but the Eagles are soaring with Philadelphia rapper Gilly the Kid, the unofficial hype man for the Birds. His dance to Too Short's Blow the Whistle even has Eagles players moving. Celebs like Post Malone, Shaq, Angel Reese, Eli Manning taking over the Big Easy at the Fanatics party. Looking forward to tonight's game.
Should be a fun day, should be a good game.
So, of course, the set list is still top secret, but according to one of my sources close to this musical performance, visuals will be a strong component of this. Also, expect chart-topping medleys. We'll see how all of this plays out, but certainly the excitement for this halftime show is building. Again, Kendrick Lamar, SZA, and maybe even a few surprises. Gio?
Ooh, okay. I'm so excited about Kendrick Lamar. But Morgan, I got to tell you, I'm so excited about who's performing before the Super Bowl. Tell us.
Hey, Gio, that's right. The pre-show lineup is just as exciting. You've got John Batiste, New Orleans native, with the national anthem. Lauren Daigle singing America the Beautiful. But then also Lettucey, a New Orleans native as well. She is doing Lift Every Voice and Sing. I had the wonderful opportunity of catching up with her just after rehearsals yesterday. She talked to me about just how monumental this performance will be for her. I mean, she's such an accomplished artist already, but she says this really takes the cake, and it's the lyrics, the cultural significance, the historic significance that really resonate with her for this moment. Here's what else she had to say.
I'm thinking of my parents, my grandparents. I'm thinking of the world and how we changed the world with this song.
So I asked Lettucey how she prepares for such a moment like this, and she said rest. And thank God she's getting that, because none of us can say the same. We have been on the go, but it has been so incredibly fun, and we look forward to seeing her performance, but then also the Super Bowl halftime performance.
I keep being so jealous of all of the alluding to parties,
Right?
partying,
You wanna
and
be
fun
there.
things.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Morgan, have all the fun for us, please. Thank you so much for that. Now with our good friend Herm Edwards, who played for the Eagles and was head coach of the Chiefs. So where he's going to be breaking down what to watch for in tonight's Super Bowl 59. I see that smile
Right,
over there,
you
Coach
smile
Herm.
when you said
That's
that.
a big old smile, because you sure are torn, I'm sure. There are two elite quarterbacks, the Eagles' Jalen Hurts, the Chiefs' Patrick Mahomes. Who are you most excited to see? And tell us about that big smile you had.
Well, I got to smile because both these organizations deserve to be here, but I'm really looking forward to watching Jalen Hurts in this big moment of his, and the fact that he's been to one Super Bowl and lost. Patrick Mahomes is 3-1 in Super Bowls, trying to win 3 in a row now. First time in history a quarterback can do that. But Jalen Hurts, I think, is going to be the key for the Eagles. Can he play with poise? Can he play understanding he's going to have to make some big plays doing this, throwing the football? We know they can run the football, but it's on Jalen Hurts. Can he throw the football? If he can throw the football, the Chiefs have, the the Eagles have an excellent chance to win this football game. So all eyes are on Jalen Hurts for me.
So let's also talk about running the football for the Eagles there, because Saquon Barkley, of course, coming off a 2,000-yard season, sensational postseason so far. Can the Chiefs actually stop him?
Well, I don't know if you can stop him. What they have to be concerned with is the big explosion plays. I mean, he's going to make 5 and 6 yards, but it's the 20, 30-yard plays. This one you're going to see right here. You got to tackle him. You got to get him on the grass. You can't allow him to do this, because if this happens, the Chiefs have no chance. You can't allow him to make the big explosion plays, and this is why he's so unique as a running back. He can take a 5-yard play and all of a sudden make it a 25-yard play.
All right, so over on the Chiefs side, you got Travis Kelce. What do you expect for him on Super Bowl Sunday? Because obviously he's on the verge of breaking a big record.
Well, think about Travis Kelce. He has 174 catches in playoff competition and 20 touchdowns. So what else do you need to know? You better figure out where 87's at, especially in playoff games. He's really good, by the way. So this is when he shines the most. In big moments, and everyone knows that. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how the Eagles try to cover Kelce today.
All right, Coach, we got to put you on the spot here, right? You played in a Super Bowl for the Eagles. You coached the Chiefs. Who's going to win this one?
What color jacket am I wearing?
Okay. All right. Fly,
I'll
Eagles,
leave it
fly.
at that. I'll leave it at that.
Since you've been with both teams, can we just name you MVP right now?
No, I tell you what. 2 excellent football teams, and it's been my pleasure working with you folks. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate the time with you guys all season.
Oh, we love you, Coach. We got to bring you back.
Well, yeah, I don't like how this sounds like a goodbye.
We're gonna bring you back for the Oscars, the whole thing. We'll see what happens.
We'll find whatever we do.
Coach, we'll talk soon. Thanks so much. All right, coming up here, Will Gans joins us with an update on 2 very special football fans.
Okay, we are back now on GMA, and the football superfans with longevity on their side. I like that. Will Gans is here with an update on them. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, Gio. Yeah, we introduced you to Lois Brown and Bob DeWitt last weekend. These senior superfans have been cheering for the Eagles and the Chiefs, respectively, for a combined 154 years.
Wow.
But now, the surprises just keep coming. At 102 years young, Lois Brown is putting the fly into Fly, Eagles, Fly.
We're going to win, you know.
On her way to New Orleans for the big game, scoring a VIP invite from the team's president.
I love it. God bless you. God bless.
It's unexplainable. It's exhilarating.
And at 93, Bob DeWitt had big plans to cheer for the Chiefs from his Kansas City living room.
And at my age, I don't buy green bananas anymore. So.
And yet the Chiefs were able to call a sneak play, surprising Bob earlier this week.
He said, oh, by the way, you're going to New Orleans. And I said, would you mind repeating that? I mean, I've never been to a Super Bowl.
Neither has Lois. Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown greeting her upon her arrival to the Big Easy.
Oh, it was just like my grandson holding me.
Same last name, but no relation, and they certainly feel differently about playing the game.
That football is heavy.
So how do our senior superfans feel about their team's chances headed into the big game?
Do you think the Chiefs have it in them?
I do. I really believe the Chiefs will win.
As for the Birds,
I think, Miss Lois, that you might be their good luck charm.
I hope so.
Good luck and good vibes, no doubt.
You have to give me another hug.
There it is.
Oh my gosh. Consider this my official petition to make her the MVP of the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's allowed. So what's next after the big game? Bob has already renewed his season ticket subscription for next season in Kansas City. And Alois says she wants to take a trip here to New York City to hang out with us, you guys.
Alois, we're with it.
Yeah.
Oh, love that, Will. Thank you for that update.
Okay, on this Super Bowl Sunday predictions, Gio, what do you got?
Stir the pot.
I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stir the pot. Eagles.
See, I'd like the Eagles to win, but I think it's going to be the Chiefs.
But you want the Eagles to win.
Well, yeah, they
So you're
beat my
going for
Niners
it.
twice, so we'll see what
There
happens.
you
Bye,
go.
everybody.
Happy Super Bowl.